My name is Shaun MacGillivray. I'm a visual storyteller. Our company has been making IMAX films for the last 35 years, and just 2 years ago we started a big campaign, one of the largest media campaigns of its kind, called One World, One Ocean, which is all about trying to inspire people to want to protect the ocean, to let them understand why they should care about the ocean in a way that potentially they don't know yet, and why, how the ocean is changing so dramatically, in a sense where most people don't know both the importance of how it's changing so dramatically day by day. And for us, a big part of it is, okay, well, how can we do this? What type of approach, when we were talking to scientists from all the acclaimed scientists in the ocean community, the biggest problem that we came across was ignorance of the fact that most people don't know the problems. And for us, coming from this background of IMAX films and working with museums, science centers, and aquariums, we felt like we had a good start. My dad had grown up by the sea, had grown up in Corona del Mar, had seen how his reef had changed just in his backyard over the last 35 years, and for us, he wanted to do what he felt he could do best, which was create stories that could inspire. And so we started this campaign, and a big part of the campaign is okay, how can it be different from what has been previously done? And we feel like two ways of doing that is one, when it comes to the campaign, do it in a sustained fashion. You have films that come out like Inconvenient Truth or The Cove, where they're great films, but they potentially don't get seen by as many people as you'd like, and potentially get seen by just a part of the community, maybe just the community from the left rather than the community from the left and the right. But also that it's films where they could potentially only be out for a certain period of time, and then you kind of lose that momentum. And so we felt like, okay, well, what if we did a sustained campaign where every year there's a film that comes out. Every year you're building through online videos, through social media, through TV. There's something where people can get excited about the ocean, hear about the ocean, understand the ocean, and have it on the tip of people's tongues. And that's what we're pursuing. That's what we're trying to do. Our first film that we created for the campaign was called To the Arctic. It just came out in IMAX theaters around the world, and for us, a big part of doing this was when it came to communicating the science of the Arctic and of the polar bears. How can we do it so that it's relatable to people? How can we do it so that it engages them on an emotional level? And it can be done in different ways, but for us it was pretty easy because polar bears are pretty easy to engage emotionally. We were able to be with a mother polar bear and her 2 cubs for 5 days straight and really get a sense of what it was like for a single mom to be raising her 2 cubs in an environment that was changing so much day by day. And that's something that a lot of people can relate to. You can relate to wanting to protect your family, wanting to teach them the ways that they can potentially survive out there in the field, out there in the real world. And so obviously when it comes to marine mammals, being able to inspire people through their stories, I mean, you obviously have a good sell there. The second thing is the scientists that are out there working with these animals every day, and being able to hear their stories, hear their goals, hear what they're trying to do in a way that is simple, like we've been talking about. What we found is, what we found is that partnerships really do make a huge difference as far as getting public awareness out. What we did with To the Arctic was not only we worked with museums, science centers, and aquariums around the world, but we also worked with WWF and Coca-Cola, and we were able to do a three-way partnership where we're able to work with the scientists from WWF and then the support of Coca-Cola in a way so that hundreds of millions of people were able to hear about this story of the polar bears. And in a 4-month time period, we're actually able to raise $4 million in donations for the World Wildlife Fund for a protected area up in the Arctic. So there's ways that I think by working with partners, you can, 1 + 1 ends up equaling a lot more than just 2. And I think, as far as our feelings when it comes to, well, creating these stories, it's all about tapping into that partnership, both from the scientist level, but also from the educational organizations and the conservation organizations. And when it comes to actually creating the films, I think the biggest thing for us is finding those stories that we think will engage people on an emotional level, find the stories that both can play to the left and the right, and as Jerry Schubel said, you can talk about the problems and you can talk about the issues, but there's got to be hope. You got to say it in a way so that people understand that that they can actually do something about it. And that's probably the biggest thing that I can tell you guys as far as our experience is we can inspire them. We can inspire the public in a way that through both what you're doing as scientists, which I think can be very, very fascinating, and I think the public can think that as well, but also inspire them through these wonderful creatures that are out there that most people don't get to see, but they do get to see when they see one of our films. I've got 3 videos. One is on what we're doing with One World, One Ocean. Another it talks about a story of Richard Pyle and the work that he does and how important it is to be able to. Oh wow, already 2 minutes. Okay, well I'll go quick. And then the other is we just got back from Tonga, where we're doing a film on humpback whales with Pacific Life as a partner, and we got this incredible footage where we were in Tonga for about a month, and we had about 250 feet of visibility where we were able to see. It was amazing, but I'll show you a tiny bit of it. Instead of 2 minutes, I'll show you 30 seconds of both humpback mothers and their babies. And babies, I mean, they're big. But here, I'll do this really quick. Let's see if I can put it in.
So one of the amazing things about Cocos Island is how well protected it is. They've got a law that prevents any kind of fishing activity for 12 miles out to sea. I'm a taxonomist. My job is to go out there and discover new species and then document it. So I'm sort of like the librarian of the biodiversity library. Biodiversity is the most important thing on this planet. Right now, at this point in history, we're surrounded by this incredibly vast resource of information, and we have no clue how to read it. A lot of times scientists will make really critical, important discoveries and publish really important results that are read by hundreds of other scientists. What's missing is how to translate that information out to the rest of the world. And that's where a program like One World, One Ocean fits in so perfectly. Its job is essentially to tell the story in a way that's compelling to non-scientists. Get them to understand how important these oceans are to us and our future, our children, our grandchildren, and why it matters, why it's important to take steps now to protect these incredible resources.
Okay, and then I know you guys have been waiting for this. Really quickly.